Good evening. Welcome back to the Sean Atwood channel. It's Rqdaily. I'm Ron Swanson, and I have missed you guys. Hope everyone is doing well. I have completely ruined my camera settings again, so I now look pink. I think we'll go with pink. Oh wow, we've got the chat coming through at the side here as well. I think that's only coming through from my channel though. That's wild. Okay, so we've got all this kind of set up now. I'm trying to tweak things a little bit. We've got some new show formats coming up. We've got a whole bunch of stuff. And we've got a great little show lined up today. The panel members will be returning. There's been some bits and bobs that I need to go through with them, and then they'll be back. But I'm going to send links out later on today. But I'm going to be cutting the panel down and rotating people throughout the week because it's a lot to deal with when there's a lot of people on the panel. So, how's everyone doing? How are y'all doing? Like, how are you? What's been happening? Anyone from Manchester in the house tonight? If so, let me know because we're going to talk about some stuff. But as always, on the Sean Atwood channel, we have a juicy lineup of content. On Thursday night, we have part 4 with Tommy Scoville. That was the wrong one. I meant to put up this one because this is tonight. Q&A and Offward DNA results with Beverly Rhodes in Awaken with Beverly Rhodes. I cannot wait. And then after that, straight on after, I love this thumbnail. I done this thumbnail this morning, and I just feel like it's like this angry head of Lionel coming for everybody. But yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not being funny, right? But if I was Joe Biden and my son was a bit of a scallywag, allegedly, right? I would have pardoned him. I would be pardoning everybody. I'd be like, listen, put it down to the alleged mental condition and just be stamping my signature on everything. It's all right. Why not? YOLO. He's out soon. Little rascal. We're going to be talking about something that came up on, I can't remember what it was. I think it was like a TikTok compilation or something. And it was an art project, a digital art project that was done with AI and CCTV. We're going to talk about that first because that is nice and friendly for the algorithm. Then we're going to jump in with some UFO bits. Then we are into our Diddy updates and news. Then we're going to dive into some conspiracy theories. And then we're going to jump with a couple of panel members and have a little chit chat. But I just want to say thank you to everyone for being here. Thank you, everyone, for joining me on the first show back. And yeah. Oh, man, this is all looking good, this setup now. If I make this full screen as well, there we go. Now we're looking a bit more fancy. So I've got an app that I'm going to be installing for Discord so that when people come and we chat on Discord, your little Discord icon will appear on the screen and all of this kind of stuff. And setting up some new ways to support through the channel. Oh, I've almost got the first members night planned as well, and I'm pumped. It's going to be awesome. I've got some new shows starting. We've got some tweaks. We've got some old shows coming back. We've got a lot coming out this week. I never had time this morning to get everything up and ready, but I'm very much looking forward to what's to come with everyone. Like I really, really am as well. Now that I figured out how to integrate all the cool stuff into StreamYard or whatever the hell this is, StreamYard, yeah, I'm feeling a lot better too. Also, Nova has finally fully turned round and is ready to pop, right? Like she has fully turned. I was having a freak out about breach and all kinds of stuff, and yeah, everything is good. No, I've not, but I don't quote me on this. But I do believe Kaza is at the center of the show with Beverly tonight. So yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for that. Okay, so first thing I want to jump into is a little bit of AI stuff, right? Because you know I'm a massive fan of AI, right? I know some of you are terrified of AI, but I can't get enough of this, right? And this was a project that was launched in 2022, okay? And it's been reported on Twitter right now as if this is a new thing, right? So I just need to understand that this is 2 years behind where we are now, okay? And Nova is my unborn child, Kim. So this guy what is his name? It is Dries de Puerter, right? He created an algorithm where he would go on to Instagram and it would scan one of your selfies, okay? Then through geolocation and through face scanning, would use the world database of CCTV to then pinpoint exactly when and where you took your selfie, to then pair your selfie with a video of your selfie being taken, right? And what that looks like is this. So on the right here, you've got the Instagram post, and then on the left here, wait, on the left here, you've got the Instagram post, and on the right, you've got the CCTV tracking, finding the guy, and then sending him a photograph of it being taken, right? Okay. This is 2 years ago. This is 2 years ago. Okay. Like, I'm not being funny, right? But see all of us, right, that have got kids that are still at that age where we can kind of mold their brains into stuff. We need them understanding this. Okay. If we don't understand how this is done, we're okay. So if the AI suddenly came up to you and were like, can you do this? I would be like, no. And that kind of scares me a little bit. Right. So I feel like we need more people understanding how that is done. Okay. Uh, because it's kind of wild. And I know AI freaks out a lot of people, right? But can you imagine if we just for a second were not allegedly run by a less than friendly, definitely not saying anything derogatory, secret possible world shadow cabinet government? Maybe, I'm just saying, internet. If that wasn't the case, could you imagine how many people should have been found by now? Missing individuals, all of I feel like stuff like this is getting removed from our use for positivity. Does that make sense? Because we all here's a great one. So Trevor's like, that's terrifying. So do you know what's really sad, Trevor, that we live in a world where we're so pre-programmed to just assume the worst about all of the people who own this. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, because I completely agree. But surely we should be finding a lot more people based off of this technology 2 years ago. Keep in mind, this was just one guy doing this in his basement, metaphorically speaking, for banter, right? This isn't like NASA, let's do the echo voice. NASA unveils new AI scanning technology. No, just a guy, just a guy, just a guy. So also as well, this is going to give someone a seizure. It just seems a bit wild for me, like that things like this. That this is the guy as well who developed it all. He makes some pretty out there projects. This is a device that works out algorithmically what percentage of your life is left. Okay. So you can see that he's hyper intelligent. He obviously understands algorithms, sorry. And I just want to say we need more people in the world. I just want to reiterate that we need more people who understand how we do that. Okay. Then we need the influencer world, I would think. Right. So listen. Flipping UFOs and that, right? So we've been speaking with Beverly Rhodes. She's sort of blown most of our minds wide open to places that we could never possibly have, thought possible. Okay. I'm a rigid believer in Beverly Rhodes's gifts, her talents, and the people that she brings to this platform. We've met Azria, we've met Danny, and both of them are very specialist in their fields, but very different fields, if that makes sense. Sean is back this evening. I'm Ron, co-host and daytime guy. There's also the possibility of a morning show coming, about 40 minutes long, with Beverly Rhodes, where she's going to do, I don't know if I'm using the right terminology, readings or some things for the day. I'm so stupid. But it's going to be something along those lines. All right, we're 10 minutes in, guys. Can I get a little like and a little share? I am going to need everyone's help for the next sort of week, pushing the show back out and reminding people that we exist, because 4 days off in internet time is like 8 months off from an office job. You know what I'm saying? Dude, we just found out this morning that she's fully turned round now and ready to. She's in like bombs away position. So it could be the next week. But the due date is technically the 21st of December. So, yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, see, it's. At this stage, right? It's not even about whether or not you're a skeptic. You know, the U.S. government, the U.S. whoever it is that's doing this massive court thing, and have been for months, have openly stated now, in a legal sense, we have communicated with non-earthling beings. They said that. But, you know, it's not really the world that most of us know that most people are interested in to read about. So,
a mysterious.
All right, so we're going to watch this. For those. Oh, also, we need to test a couple of things. So when I play this, I'm going to play it for about 10 seconds. If you guys hear an echo, let me know that you can hear an echo, and then I'll restart. I want to do a couple of tests on a couple of the sound channels that are coming into this. So yeah, let me know if there is an echo when I start to play this.
Blue sphere-shaped, unidentified flying object nearly landed at Manchester Airport, prompting temporary flight suspensions and heightened.
Did you hear an echo? Hear the echo. God damn it. Right, okay, 1 second. Okay, so why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? So if that's coming through, I wonder if we put the sound mixer channel. Bear with me, everybody. I really want to get this fixed, this resolved. Sorry. Excuse me as well. All right, mixer, volume mixer, advanced settings, output. No. Volume mixer. Right. So if I put this on here, right? Tell me if you guys can still hear an echo.
A mysterious blue sphere-shaped, unidentified flying object nearly landed at Manchester Airport, prompting temporary flight suspensions and heightened.
Did we fix it? Come on, baby. Come on, tell me we fixed it. Oh no, we've got echo. No echo. No, we didn't fix it. All right. No echo. No echo. Okay. Oh, right. Let's try that again.
A mysterious blue sphere-shaped, unidentified flying object nearly landed at Manchester Airport, prompting temporary flight suspensions and heightened security. The silent, glowing object, about 2 meters in diameter, hovered just a few inches above a runway, stunning airport staff and passengers. Eyewitnesses describe the sphere as otherworldly, with no visible propulsion. Experts are closely monitoring this unprecedented event, which has sparked global curiosity and online speculation. A mysterious blue sphere.
Okay, so this apparently happened yesterday at Manchester Airport. The airport was closed. This sphere-shaped craft was seen in the sky, and then there was allegedly images of it coming down and almost landing on the runways. Now, this has been going on in the UK and in the US in a way that I've never seen before in my lifetime. Over the last sort of year and a bit. And of course, Beverly has told us that this planet was a no-fly zone, effectively, and now that's been lifted, and we're seeing this huge increase in visitors, or curiosity, shall we say. Now, it's kind of wild. So I want to show you a bit of footage. This is from like 13 years ago. Okay. Some of you may have seen this. This is out in Jerusalem, and this was one of the bits of footage that you see it, right? I mean, I remember seeing this like a decade ago, and it just kind of sticks with you. Whether it's, I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure there's a similar video like this, right? When the nuclear power station was on meltdown in Japan. You all remember that? Obviously remember that. There was a similar incident. And I think, anyway, let me see, let me watch the video, but
there's a new video this morning that some say may be proof we're not alone in the universe. A UFO in the form of a bright light is seen descending over the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. The video is said to be taken over the weekend. Then suddenly the light shoots up into the sky. There you see it. Another video from a different angle appears to show the light doing the same thing. Those clips have gone viral now.
Any of you seen that? Any of you seen that one? Have any of you seen these white balls that kind of come down, they zoom away? I'm pretty sure there's a few of them, right? There's a few videos like this of these glowing balls, and they sort of appear around religious-y bits, religious-y places. I can't remember what religion it is that has the massive square, right? It's like a big, massive square, right? Or cube. It's a big cube, right? I can't remember what it is. I can't remember what religion it is. I'm sure there's a similar video, or it might be the same video, where you see this ball and then up it goes. Mad, right? So that is only being shown because I want you guys to think now about UFO footage from you growing up or from the last 10 years or anything like that that's stuck in your mind. And I want you to try and find it and then send it to me on Discord. It's Muslims. It's Muslim faith. Okay. So get thinking about that. So that was my entry for this thought process. Now we were going to jump to a video here, which is the angry astronaut. Now he's got some really good footage compiled here of lights in the sky and things like this. I'm just going to play along here. I mean, we all know what drones look like in 2024. And it's more about the maneuverability of these crafts for me.
Definitely a plane of some kind, but
like you'll see them all coming into shot more in a minute.
wait, now it's going up. What the hell? Okay, that's definitely a drone of some kind. Keeps changing its trajectory. God damn, that poor guy. He left just at the wrong time. So last night at RAF.
So what do you guys think? I mean, we're seeing this influx across military bases and, you know, lights in the sky when it's a single dot. It's quite easy to kind of justify away, right? So, I mean, how many of you, right, have already written off that piece of footage, right? The single glowing orb, you know, we're in the era of drones now. So now a light that suddenly zips forward and stops and then goes up, it doesn't shock us. So and listen, I'm not criticizing anyone. So put a 1 in the side chat if you've already written that off in your head, because for whether or not it's because you're skeptical or whether or not it's because there's just too much stuff to get through. You want to focus on stuff that's more in your face. But let me know if you've already forgotten that one, because the next one is where we start to get a bit spicy. Yeah. And Helena, Donna, anyone that puts a 1, it's not you saying, hey, I'm a skeptic or a non-believer. It's just, if that was 10 years ago or 20 years ago in the era of no drones, we'd probably all be thinking differently about that, right? So I've missed you, okay? I've missed all of you, and I'm so glad to be back. The next thing as well, right, we're going to try and fix the music, right? Because Ron on a panel by himself does like a little bit of background music. Okay, let's check out this next part of this video. Also as well, I just want to say once again, big shout out to the Angry Astronaut. This is where we're watching this video from. It has been posted yesterday. So a big shout out to him for this.
With lots and lots of lights.
Here we go. All right. I mean, at this stage, what are we saying to that? I mean, what are we saying about that? Really, 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 really well put together hoax of mega drones? Because I'll be honest with you, I don't know how, like, illuminated drones are. You know, they look like, it's like usually a little, like, you know, when you see a plane's wing lights, you know what I mean, at nighttime and they're flying, it's like, beep, 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 beep. That's kind of what. But in saying that, if you were going to hoax something, you would just link it up to be a big glowing ball, right? But I mean, this is getting a bit mad now.
Capable of operating at a distance of about 3 kilometers away from the user, runs at least $12,000 to $13,000. So we're
Okay, yeah. So they're talking about the range here that it would take for a drone to be used in a hoax.
talking 50 drones that are capable of flying with impunity over the British countryside for a much greater distance than that, passing over a facility that is highly secure and has considerable ground.
I mean, come on. It looked like, what are, like, the bits that are lit up? Can you all see the little gray bits? Can you all see those little gray bits? Is that light reflecting off something? It's just mad. It's just mad. The footage that we watched with Danny of her organization, her group, doing their annual meetup where they effectively bring forth the ships in the sky. It's not Danny. Danny doesn't say that it's her that does that herself. It's one of her, one of the people that she works with in her group. I mean, this is all just wild. Dude, what is this? Nah. Come on. Like, come on. I mean, come on, mate. That is a triangle. God, and it's like, what is? This is why I like watching this stuff with you guys. It's just mad. It really is just mad. So here we're in the realm of the blue balls. Again, no pun intended. Also, as well, please give me a little like and a share, guys. Once we're done with our little UFO section here, we're going to jump into our Diddy news before we hit the conspiracy part of our show. Come on. Oh, come on. Refresh the page and this video has been removed by YouTube. Come on. No, just gonna, nah, not playing it today. All right. Internet says no. Come on, mate. I'm not ordered, right? But I'm ordering a massive Ethernet cable. Because I think because this is not what we want. But what do you guys think, right? When it comes to these modern clusters in the sky, like where do you guys land with it? Because I think for me, there's way too much going on that isn't being spoken about. We've currently got this big American inquiry situation going on. Hang on a second. My background has stopped doing what it should be doing. All right, we're just not going to play the background. That's fine. Listen, we've got bigger fish to fry. We'll just do this. There we go. Like, honestly, for me, these all look like ships. I feel like we're at the stage now where the fast-moving disc going through the sky, we're past it. It seems to be these orbs. It seems to be these triangles, and even sort of off-shaped, diamond-shaped things. They look like craft. They look like spaceships. All right, that's what they look like. Oh, here we go. We're back. But it just seems to be happening at a rate now that like I say, is like nothing that I've ever seen in my lifetime. I mean, what is that? See, that, I mean, I feel like this is a questionable one for me, right? But again, what would a fast moving, what do you think about the eye in the sky, Ron? I don't know what you mean. Like satellites. What are we talking about? Oh yeah. See when when they just start turning on like this, right? Like one's there, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one. That does anybody else get like I saw does anyone get like a slight passive aggressive like feel when they all start lighting up? Or are we misjudging this? And if you imagine you're driving towards somewhere, right, and you've got your headlights on, gotta be safe, right? And you're kind of pulling in to take a look, your headlights would kind of be facing out the way, right? Does that make, do you see what I'm saying? Because sometimes I feel like a little bit like, is this like a show of force, right? I don't feel like it is. But sometimes it's very overwhelming to see all these, things just stacking up the way that they do. It's a spicy meatball. All right, guys, give me a like and give me a share. I would really, really appreciate it. Help me kickstart the algorithm back in my favor for my little daily show. It's just bonkers. And this angry astronaut, his whole video is like this. This whole video is just clip after clip like
during a sighting. Again,
like clip after clip after clip. Ron, do you? I think maybe I've seen some episodes of Skinwalker Ranch. Flipping love that, man. That's another thing Bev and I are talking about is cryptids and those kind of things. We've got some stuff getting planned for that too for you lovely, lovely people. They're fake, dude. Right? Do you know what I'm saying? It's the same argument, right? That if any religious deity, like if any actual religious person who said they're going to come back to Earth one day actually came back, right? But they weren't like equipped with Marvel superpowers. They're going in the loony bin, mate. They are going in the loony. They're getting arrested, right, for extremism. Okay, and then they are going in the loony bin. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So, yeah, when you look at a lot of these, it is 2025, and it is so easy to fake things like this. So, Mr. Kazi, here is what I'd like you to remember when it comes to this stuff. What you want to look at are cases where the same instance happens from multiple different angles from public recordings. That is, to me, the best way of having a little algorithm to weed out potential fakes, because the fake ones often aren't faked from multiple angles, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Because I hear you, bro. Like, I fully hear you on that one. Skinwalker Ranch new season, April 2025. Love that show. And beyond Skinwalker Ranch. All right. Well, listen, I've been looking for something like a series to watch along on Discord. So we'll maybe watch a couple episodes of that and see what it's like. Oh, listen, thank you, everybody. You finally pushed my little show over 1,000 live viewers across all platforms. I really appreciate it. My target is to try and get to 2,000 daily viewers on YouTube by Christmas. We were smashing it, but now we're back. So it's good times. The Book of Enoch. Do you know, it's so funny you say that. I downloaded the Book of Enoch the other day. I have it on my phone. So yeah, I'll be delving into that. I think it was Beverly that was talking about that, the Book of the Book of Enoch. But yeah, I tell you what really fascinates me, right? And it's all because of the Coral Castle, right? So pyramids, Egyptians, mystery, wonder, wow, right? But then that lost civilization, I can't remember what it was called, the Tatars or something, that were like in between Russia and China. Tatarians, something like that. They apparently just knew how all this stuff was done. And I'll tell you something, I'm telling you now, it is all going to have something to do with frequencies or radio waves or sound waves or frequencies that create physical. Because do you know why? Right? Do you know why? Okay, here is my dumb guy on the internet reasons why. Okay, because I'm telling you now, I want to show you something. All right. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. Nah, that can't be real. Nah. See, this is what freaks me out. All right, so we're going to look at this one. Hang on a second. Okay, so we're going to look at this one first. So, today, children, we're going to learn a little bit about, I think it's physics, right? So now, what I want us to imagine is what we're about to see is a tiny, tiny, tiny example. So instead of seeing a black plate, okay, I would like you to see some land, maybe a square mile of land in your head, right? And what you're going to see happening with this sound as a building process on that land. So let's have a look. Mystical music. Plinky plonky sounds. Mesmerizing. All right. All right, I didn't realize it was going to be such an epic build-up. Okay, so we're going to start firing different bits of sound, frequencies through here. Right? Oh, Stevie, I need a bunch of walls built, mate. I need some walls built around my land. How can I get a quote, please? Nay bother. We're just going to use sound frequencies to pile up some stuff. Right? Okay, so instead of these being little grains of sand, why couldn't these be boulders, right? Why couldn't this be bigger things and then a more amplified frequency, right? Right? Okay. So, hang on. So now we're going to look at this. Same principles, but this is music being played. Does anyone remember Close Encounters of the Third Kind? All that, you know what I'm saying?
The first experiment for the cymatics music video is called a Chladni plate. Now, Chladni plate's basically a metal.
And what different patterns would be created because of those shapes. But
like, so, okay. So let's just assume that for argument's sake, we have a little possible bit of evidence as to how we can move something without touching it. That's the best way of looking at it, right? So vibrations, all this kind of stuff. Now, one more thing I want to say. I don't know if this is real. Like, there's no way this is real, what I'm seeing right now. It's just no way. Oh, wow. The comment section is saying this is I mean, this is from 9 years ago. The movement of the stone with the help of sound. Occultisti, long time talking about what else? Atlanta and ancient Egyptians in the construction of their shrines. He knew how to move the massive stone with the help of sound, acoustic levitation. Now, I don't know if this is real. Okay. So we're just going to watch it, and if it doesn't turn out to be real, then it's everyone, we're collectively wrong. Nah. I mean, I'm just saying, this is kind of what it would look like, right? This is kind of what it would look like, right? If we were using sound to levitate a rock, okay? This is sort of what we'd be looking at, right? So is it so hard to imagine that scaling up what we've seen here with the sand couldn't be replicated in a larger sense? And here's another creepy thing. Have you ever seen what happens to certain types of fluid when you put them in a speaker? They turn into flubber, right? Seen this before? Looks like it looks like a little life form trying to come to life. But this is, if you mix custard at the right consistency using custard powder, and then you put a bit of cling film over a subwoofer and drop it in, this is what you'll get. So imagine that was like liquid stone or lava or something, right? Do you know what I mean? I know we're sort of getting a bit all over the place here, but it's kind of interesting. Now, there's one other video that I'd like to try and show you on this. Okay, 1 second. There was a scientist dude who done oh, hang on a minute. There's a scientist guy who done what we were seeing here, and I'm pretty sure it was done with liquid and sand. And he was talking about how the universe and everything in it is formed through frequency and vibrations and sound. And it was kind of mind-blowing, and I can't find it. So that's that. But I'm looking. Hang on. Okay, incredible UV sand. Okay, I'm going to play this one, right? Just to sort of end our university chat here this morning about the possibilities of how Coral Castle was built. Yeah, we get it, mate. We get it. All right, we're going to get some UV sand. Oh, so this is going to be sick. I mean, how mad is that? I'm not being funny. That looks like illegible. Like, I'm not. That looks like, you know, if you were like, anyone ever done like game development, or, you know, ever played Space Hulk, right, or anything like that, where you've got to build a board or a game zone, right? This to me looks like a cross section of corridors, right, where you've got generic courtyard 1.jpg. Did you see what I'm saying? Yeti man, Ron, I'll have a brand new channel up and running soon. Yeah, of course, mate. I'd love to do that. Do you see what I'm saying? So if these weren't grains of sand, right, and this was a refined skill set, right, where things are stacking up on each other, or we get the groundwork or the foundations done, and then we're using little ones to lift individual blocks. It just kind of blows my mind. you know what else they look like? What do you think? When we look at structures and the pyramids, when we look at what is buried underneath Turkey, I can't remember what it's called, but there's a madness going on down there, a Belebli Teki or something. They've literally just planted a forest over it because they don't want to unearth the answers. Like, I'm not being funny. This is... It's kind of, we're staring the answer in the face here. Okay, anyway, so I just wanted to point that out to everybody, because I think when we start talking about ancient civilizations and the possibilities of forgotten history, deleted history, sacred geometry, it's kind of amazing that as a species, okay, we've allowed ourselves to become so dumb. Because I remember looking at that experiment with the sand, using a violin bow and one of those plates when I was about 7 or 8, right? So we're all seen it. Like, we've all seen it. We all see it. We know it. But it's like they stop there with it. You know, I think what happened to Nikola Tesla, right, and his ability to power the world through wireless energy, and then subsequently being declared a crazy person, having all of his work taken from him, just so that we could slap a meter inside the house and bill us every month. I think there's civilizations that have been lost. I think there's architecture that's been lost. And I think the answers that we all seek with regards to this has sort of been staring in our face our whole life. So yeah, more on the awesome and off-worldly this evening from 6 o'clock with myself and Beverly Rhodes with Awaken with Beverly Rhodes. Now, let's jump out and see what is going on with the Diddler. We've got a Jamie Foxx article that's just popped up this morning. Jamie Foxx to reveal truth about health crisis on Netflix special after wild Disney Diddy poisoning rumors. Interesting. Let's find out a little more. Jamie Foxx says he will speak candidly about his recent life events as he promotes his up-and-coming special with what had happened was the upcoming special, What Had Happened Was, on Netflix. I cannot say enough that I am blessed to be able to tell my story in my own way, so that many people. Excuse me a second. Tell my own story in my own way. So many people to thank. So many people have prayed. Fox 56 on Sunday said on Instagram, the Terrell, Texas native, thanked fans in Atlanta where he had made his comeback to stand. I don't know if that has anything to do with this. A big shout out in Atlanta. Oh, yeah, showed up, make him feel at home, made him feel safe. What the hell? Is this a different story? No, okay. Big shout out to the Atlanta show. Should have made me feel like home after 18 years of not being on stage. Oh, it's a comedy special. I don't know what I'm talking about. Made it feel like it was just yesterday. I can't wait for everyone to experience the vibe that we had. The Oscar-winning actor said. Fox said the filming of the special, it was like going to church. We laughed. We had a few tears. But last but not least, we celebrated life and second chances. Cannot wait. Fox in the special speaks of rumors linking his health crisis he suffered years to embattled music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, according to 3 people who were attended the shows October 3rd to 5th at the Alliance Theatre's Coca-Cola stage. I wonder what he said and how much is going to be left in. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen any of Jamie Foxx's stand-up. Okay, here we go. The FPs were not parties. They were used to try and... Yeah, well, listen. I could 100% get on board with that. With that narrative completely. But what is going on? Oh, that's Beverly. That's Maggie. Oh, I think we've got Letitia in the side chat. What is happening, ladies? Okay. Choke No Choke, a producer director, told Comedy's Hype YouTube account October 7th that he was at the first and third shows. Choke No Joke said Foxx identified himself as the one who called the FBI on whoa, for who was in custody since September, arrested in New York City. Did we already know that? Like, is that public knowledge? I feel like I didn't know that. Foxx said in a serious tone during one of the shows that Diddy was responsible for whoa. That's mad. Letitia, you listening to this? You listening to this? Did we already know all this? Like, did we already know all this, or is this just all? Is this just? Are we just all learning this now? Foxx was laying low out of fear of retribution from Combs. Choke No Choke said, citing how the actor quickly returned to the limelight after Combs was arrested in September, attending the Dallas Boston practice the following week. Choke No Choke added, and now he just went and shot his special, and who's the special based around Diddy? Damn. Nope, this is new for me. Yes, Ron, it's been on the internet. Hang on, I think the mods need to be corrected. I don't think so. Timing out, people. Nah, timing out is fine, mate. Timing out is fine. Just what you got to go and sit in the naughty corner, mate. I mean, sometimes you just gotta. Yeah. Oh no. I didn't mean. I mean, we all knew it, right? We all knew it, but I feel like we're now getting a Netflix special where he's going to talk about it. He said that he's the one that phoned the FBI on Diddy. Like, that seems wild to me. That seems wild to me. But I'm here for it. Like, I'm here for it. We will definitely all be watching that collectively. So yeah. Okay, Choke No Joke subsequently told Page and Six that he'd been shocked. But in saying this, I mean, could this Choke No Joke guy not just say whatever he wants? Oh yes, I heard this. Do you see what I mean? Choke No Joke subsequently told Page Six that he'd been shocked Foxx spoke about the topic, as he previously heard rumors within the entertainment industry linking Foxx's health issues to Combs' legal woes. Big homie CC, who is a celebrity bodyguard, said on October 19th in exchange with Cam Copy News that he believes Foxx's was poisoned by Combs last year, leading to a lengthy recovery period and convincing Foxx to submit the authorities regarding Combs. Big homie CC said that Jamie Foxx reported to him and the FBI because of it. Jamie Foxx reported to him, it was reported to the FBI because of this. Damn. That's mad. Sorry, I'm reading the side chat. Maggie, that's Queenie. Like, this as well. So yeah, I know we all kind of knew it, right? We all kind of knew, we'd all heard what Big Homie had told us. And we all kind of knew it. But this is like, this is wild. So yeah, we need to community wise, we need to, as a community, watch this new Netflix that's coming out on the 10th. Let me continue on with this. Big OBCC was a celebrity bodyguard. Said in an exchange with Cam Copy News, he believes was poisoned by Combs last year, leading to his lengthy recovery period and convincing Combs to submit the authorities regarding Combs. We just read that bit. Oh man, this is gonna be nuts. Here's our guy. Such a nice dude. He really is. I got a lot of time for Big Homie. Okay. Big Homie CC told Page Six that he attended 2 of Fox's Atlanta shows while accompanying a client. Another attendee, Dennis L.A. White, told the outlet that he'd been at the later 2 shows and believes Fox done something to Combs. Fox got distance. Nailed it. Fox distanced Combs. I don't know what that says. From his health and problems with his monologues. White said that Fox said something along the lines of, "People keep asking me if Diddy was responsible. He was not responsible. If he was, I would have been dead." Fox advertised the show on his social media September 2nd, saying it would take the stage to share his journey through serious healthcare, filled with humor, heart, and inspiration. The ad read, "Experience Jamie Foxx like you've never seen before, intimate and engaging performance as he opens up about struggles, triumphs, and everything in between. Get ready for a night of laughter, reflection, and genuine connection." Yeah, I mean, what are we all thinking about that? Like, is that not a madness? I think that's a madness. I can't wait for this. Like, I genuinely cannot wait for this. I waited all year for Meghan Markle's cooking show to make content out of that, and it just didn't happen. But yeah, like I say, this sort of if he comes out, if Jamie Foxx comes out and says what they said that he's saying, it totally matches with what Big Homie was saying. I mean, Big Homie ended up with pneumonia 3 times after working club events and doing security for events where the diddler was. It's crazy. Are you calling me a hippie fella? I'm all right with that. So yeah, wild. All right, next one. The next one, I do believe that Khloe Kardashian. I can't find the article now, but Khloe Kardashian allegedly has been called out or is calling out one of. Here it is. I found it. Nailed it. Oh my god. Khloe Kardashian begs pal to keep quiet as she brags about Khloe Kardashian begs pal to be quiet as she brags about butt naked Diddy party in resurfaced clips. John Diddy Combs has hosted lots of parties over the years, which were attended by a number of A-list celebrities, including Khloe and Kourtney Kardashian. Khloe Kardashian warned her friend to stop talking as she opened up about what went on at a party hosted by Sean Diddy Combs. The rappers' parties have come under scrutiny. 1 second, what's going on here? All right. The rappers' party. The 55 was arrested back in September on charges of this and that and a bunch of this. He has vehemently denied all allegations and pleaded not guilty in court. As he's being held at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, a video has surfaced from an old episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. In the video, which comes from the episode titled Secrets of a Double Life. 1 second, that is Dan. Just everyone give me 1 second. 1 second, everybody. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm just driving on the motorway. I just to let you know, I'm having weird pelvic pains. I don't know if I'm in labor, but I'll see you soon. Great. No, she thinks she's fine. But what am I meant to do with that information? Do you know what I mean? Bless her cotton socks. Let me just process that for a minute. So yeah, no, she thinks because she's fully turned around now, and the doctors are prodding around, and she's sitting down. It could be Braxton Hicks. Her waters haven't broke or anything like that. But let's all just think Braxton Hicks, right? Everyone think Braxton Hicksy thoughts until her ass is back in the house. Okay. All right. Let's carry on with this. I'm just throwing myself back into this now to keep my mind off this. Khloe has been speaking out about the part. Also, can we just talk about the name of that double life? Khloe has been speaking out about the party and her pal Kajahak and sister Kourtney Kardashian. Oh dear. Kourtney then asked Kajah if she had met any of Khloe's new crew of friends at the wild party. Kajah started saying no. Well, kind of, before Khloe quickly told her to stop talking. Elsewhere in the clip, which first aired in 2014, Kourtney also spoke out about hanging out with Diddy after Khloe asked if she'd spent time with that weekend, and Kourtney said a bunch of friends. She gave a list of names, including Diddy, Quincy Jones, and rapper French Montana. So far, so good, Khloe replied. No member of the Kardashians family has been linked to any of the allegations that Combs is facing, and they have not been accused of any wrongdoing. They are also yet to speak on Diddy's arrest. Diddy's attorney, Ted Geragos, recently addressed his parties during an appearance on news station. Geragos said a lifestyle of being a lifestyle and being present at activities doesn't mean he committed a crime. Those activities and the lifestyle is not criminal. I mean, we get that. He's not being charged with lifestyle. He's getting charged with all this under the guise of a RICO case, allegedly. That was a dumb statement. So yeah, interesting. I mean, the fact that it was an aired TV episode and not just a conversation that was going on, it would be interesting to see what was left on the cutting room floor. But I imagine there's a lot of people backpedaling, recanting stories, and hitting delete on anything they can when it comes to Diddy, especially now. All right, so last bit of Diddy headlines for today, and then we're going to have a little chitty chat. Diddy denies new lawsuit claims he dangled woman from Cassie's balcony. That is some spiciness right there. Right, hang on. Let me move this. All right. Sean Diddy Combs has been accused of this in a newly filed lawsuit. Fashion designer Brianna Bana Bongolan. That says Bong Olan. Brianna Bana. Miss Bongolan claimed that Diddy intimidated and threatened her on multiple occasions, such as dangling her from a balcony, according to recent court documents obtained by Rolling Stone. Like, do you know how mental you need to be to dangle somebody off anything? Like, allegedly. The only purpose of dangling someone over the edge of a balcony is to do this to them, or intentionally do that to them and rob them of any concept of domain over their own bodily autonomy and safety, or to intimidate. I mean, just, I know you're probably paid by the word, mate, but I mean, come on. The court finally reads that Miss Bongolan, yep, refuses to allow her fear to control the rest of her life, and brings this action to demand that Mr. Combs take responsibility for the trauma he intentionally and maliciously inflicted. According to Bongolan's recollection, Diddy held her over his then girlfriend Cassie's apartment balcony in 2016 while screaming at her. He also allegedly told Bongolan that she was the mother flippin' schmevel and she has no idea what he could do to her. That he was, wait a minute, told Bongolan that he was the mother flippin' schmevel. Oh, that is grim. And she had no idea what he could do to her. Diddy firmly denied Bongolan's accusations in a statement provided by Rolling Stone. You guys will reach out for comment. Anyone has the right to file a lawsuit regardless of evidence. Okay. They may or may not have. Legal spokesperson for Diddy told the outlet, since last year, Mrs. Bongolan has expressed an intention to sue Mr. Combs and has sought legal representation to pursue her claims. Mr. Combs firmly denies the serious allegations and remains confident they will ultimately be proven as baseless. Bongolan also claimed that her legal motion that she witnessed disturbing signs of a relationship between Diddy and Cassie. Diddy and Cassie dated between 27 and 28. November 23rd, Cassie sued Diddy for those things. Before they settled out of court the next day, Diddy denies the claims. The disgraced music mogul was indicted by I don't know what's wrong with me today. By a grand jury in September, shortly before he was arrested on this. A 14-page indictment, claimed that Diddy allegedly abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him for decades. Diddy pleaded not guilty to the charges and was remanded in Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention. We know this. Thank you very much, my G. Thank you for the support. Yeah, baby brain. It's something. My brain, do you know what it is? I have this theory that there's only so much high storage space in my brain, and I filled it up with so much useless stuff that now it's just deleting random things from my brain to make new space for new data, and it's deleting things like, words. Great. Oh, no, when is that? What is going on? Hang on a second, I'm just monitoring Dan. All right, yeah, okay. We are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs' U.S. attorney, Diddy's attorney, Mark Angafilio. This is just more guff about Diddy and his lawyer. The statement continued, to his credit, Mr. Combs has been nothing but cooperative with this investigation. Sure he has. Voluntarily, yeah, okay. So, what do we think? Okay. I mean, we've heard there that anyone can file a lawsuit regardless of evidence. What do we think? Yes. Yeah. Words are hard, man. Words are hard. So, I know a lot of you talked about the fact that you were waiting for maybe not necessarily truthful individuals to start coming out of the woodwork with regards to cases. Now, again, I am not saying in any way, shape, or form that any of the victims or survivors of this that are involved in this case are in any way making anything up whatsoever. I'm just having a conversation with you guys on the internet here, right? So, do you think that lawyers are sort of equipped to deal with sort of filing through people that may be questionable? Or do you think there is going to be, the closer we get to the date, do you think we're going to see an increase in cases and things like this? And do you think that from a public perspective, if we see too many all coming at once or more in big clumps, that there's going to be a certain section of the world who's consuming that media that are going to start calling false flags and things like this? What do you guys think? Because for me, I always think in my brain, well, there must be some evidence, right? I mean, what would be the point other than getting a few headlines momentarily? I mean, could you not be countersued? Is that not something that happens? Would that not be like a defamation thing if you can't prove it in court? I don't know. I'm just talking here. So again, I don't think just Trevor. So like, let's take Trevor's answer based off of if this was a fake case, if you see what I mean. Yes, it's deflecting from what actual victims and smoke and mirrors. Defamation. Thank you, Mark. Yeah. Okay, so it isn't in your best interest to make a fake lawsuit, right? Basically. But if you're already in jail and there's 120 other lawsuits, plus a federal RICO alleged charge, do you think you're really going to be paying much attention to something? I mean, maybe you are. I mean, you probably are, right? Or your lawyers are, at least. Interested. Yeah, I'm looking forward to 6 o'clock as well. Very much looking forward to 6 o'clock. And in case you missed the start of the show where we were talking about what's happening at 6 o'clock, it's Awaken with Beverly Rhodes. My goodness. Oh, okay. So I've got 5 minutes of derailing my own live stream. So last night was at my mum's, right? Met my whoa. I forgot those were on. Yeah, so I've got this new streaming setup. It's not new. It's just how people stream. That I've managed to figure out how to integrate into this. It's got text to speech and all kinds of weird stuff. So if you hear weird noises or anything like that, it's just somebody subscribing or something along those lines. All right. So last night at my mum's, meeting my eldest daughter's new boyfriend. Really nice guy. Really nice night. It was great. But obviously, I had to torture him. So I took along a tube of terror, right? And, made him eat some. And then I ate some, and then my daughter ate some. And I just want to say, right? I'd undone the packaging, the outer packaging. I touched nothing. I unscrewed the lid. That's all I'd done, okay? Then I put the lid back on, and then I put it down. And then I rubbed my eyes, all right? Okay? Keeping in mind, I'd only touched the cellophane, okay? It was not good. It was not good, all right? It was not good. Then we all ate one, right? Me, my daughter, and her boyfriend all ate one. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm really relieved at how the whole process goes, right? Because it is a heat like you have never felt in your life, okay? Like, there is no explanation for what went on. And like, for a start, when you see me do this live, my tongue had swollen up. For like 10 minutes, I couldn't speak. I was speaking like this. It was mad, right? And then we ate another one because you get about, I'll be honest, the whole ordeal is over in about 15 minutes, okay? And butter, right? This whole milk, ice cream, yogurt, forget about it, right? Butter completely neutralizes 65 to 70% of the effects, right? So keep that in mind, right? But man. So I ate 2 in total, and it is. Oh, so I've got 4 tubes for a charity event I'm doing in December. There's a whole bunch of us that are doing it. It's gonna suck. It's really gonna suck. These are 13 million Scovilles. The corn nuts, which, where did I put them? Where did I put everything? The corn nuts are 15 million Scovilles. Look at his face. Look at his wee face. Greetings from Serbia. What is happening? What is happening? So, yeah, we've got way too many of these, is what we've got. So every $10 donated for the charities, I'm going to add 1 corn nut to what I've got to eat. And and then there's 2 full tubes of nuts and 2 full tubes of corn nuts. But I'm telling you now, this is as close to a actual RED room as you're ever going to see. Because let's be honest, that's what you're doing. You are paying money, right, to inflict the tube of terror upon me, right? That is dark. You need to question what is going on with your heads, people. But please be here. Please donate. It's going to be awesome. And again, the whole ordeal's over in about 15 minutes. Like, the heat's gone. You're aware that your tongue is very aware that something has just happened that should not have happened, right? But yeah, I was really, really, really grateful for knowing that the butter manages it so well, and it's over. You know, what is the today vibe? We've been going over some. We're about to jump into our conspiracy section of the show, right? And then I'm going to send the links out to a couple of our wonderful panel members to come and join me for a little chitty chat. But before I do that, I need to send a couple of things over to everybody, which I'll get organized doing now, actually. One moment, please. Okay. 1 minute. Let me just send this over to my panel members. Okay. Forward. Maggie. Letitia, Paula, Victoria. And I'll email it to Mike. Oh, and Shaney Boy. There we go. All right. So, one second, everyone. All right. So that's all that sent out. So let's close this down. Right, we're going to chat about some conspiracies, right? And we're calling them conspiracies because that's a better way of doing things, all right? And a big shout out again to Kaza on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. So again, I just want to say everything you're about to see is alleged. I've not checked any sources or anything like this. But this one's a bit mad. Developing CEO of Universal Group, Lucian Grange, the most powerful man in music, the same company Drake is suing, was named as an accomplice in the Sean Diddy Combs lawsuit for alleged claims aiding and abetting and inducing Puffy to return to run one of these. The lawsuit states Lucian Charles Grange Ethiopia, Bemaririam, Motown Records, Love Records, Universal Group concealed its delivery of vast sums of cash, likely millions of dollars, to Mr. Combs and his associates. In order to benefit from Combs's venture, defendants Lucian Charles Grange, Ethiopia, I'm just going to say Ethiopia. That does say Ethiopia, right? These must be companies, right? They must be. Motown Records, Love Records, and Universal Record Group willingly failed to timely file required tax disclosures surrounding the funding of these parties with federal government because doing so would impair his ability to profit. Okay. Defendant Lucian Charles Grange, accused to receive financial benefits through continuation of Mr. Combs's. Okay, let's just. I mean, this is. Yeah, I mean, this is all in this legal document. Oh man, I mean, listen. We often talk about the people behind the people, right? Give me 1 second. I just want to phone and check in with Dan, everyone. Just give me a minute. All right, I can confirm it is Braxton Hicks. We did it side chat. Collectively, with our minds, we manifested Braxton Hicks. Yes. No, I was on the phone. Sorry, I was on the phone. I was on the phone to my lovely pregnant fiance who was having a panic driving home that she was going to go into labor, but everything's okay. So hopefully everyone who's connected with Diddy, right? And again, we've often spoken about bringing in the cleaning crews and bringing in the people who have got things to say, right? Who've got things to say, who maybe are signed to NDAs or whatever, but have certainly witnessed things that need to be brought to light 100%. So Lucian Grange allegedly involved profiting. And when we start talking about profiting, and then we start looking at RICO cases, and we start looking at alleged criminal enterprises, this is when things start falling straight into place. Excuse me, itchy face. Here's another interesting one. And again, conspiracy theory time. Okay, conspiracy theory time, everyone. Okay, relax, mate. It's not time for you to play yet. So when you look at the sheer amount, a number of movie and pop stars and celebrities that have mysteriously ended or endgamed themselves, it makes you wonder just how many were taken out by alleged, things like this for refusing to comply with their club that's into this. Let's have a little watch. I just want you all to read this very carefully, okay? Because we can't, there's some things we just don't want to. Just first day back, okay? Don't want to say anything, okay? Well, let's just read that. Just read that. Read it again. You all read it? All right. So we've talked about Club 27. We've talked about things where you're born into it. Okay, you're born into these families that have, how do we put this? Dark heritage. Oh, that was beautiful. They've got dark heritage, and it's not out of the realm of thought that there is some prevalence to the 27 Club. Celebrities who get in, metaphorically speaking, right? Allegedly and metaphorically speaking, born into a cabal, a demonic, dark, ritualistic system, okay, where a whole bunch of SRA, SA, these horrible things that we've been talking about for years take place. But then you have to wonder how many, like this video says, are results of them not conforming. Because when we often talk about, oh, why don't they come forward? Why don't they come forward? Why don't more celebrities speak up? And then we start looking at this. It kind of paints a picture of what happens to those who don't conform and who want to talk about it, right? I can't remember what rapper it was that was on a video I watched the other day about he was selling platinum records, selling out stadiums, 50, 60,000 tickets. And then he described it as being at a crossroad, right? And on one side, okay, you've got an offer. And if you take that offer, you go into this room. And certain things might happen in that room that you've never thought about doing in your life. Or you can go the other way and hope that your success can carry you. And that's basically what was said. And this guy chose to believe that his success could carry him. And he said after that meeting, it was the last time he ever had a platinum record. But he still had a career. Okay. So we have to ask ourselves, all right, how much is enough for some people, right? How much is enough? What is it that is offered to people? And I don't mean those born into it. I mean, people that are just skipping away through life. They've got talent, and then they end up in a situation where they have allegedly handed over their spirit, their soul, to a less than nice club. All right. Oh, I'm speaking the algorithm like a flipping wizard today. Because seeing how many people no longer exist who have tried to fight or allegedly tried to fight against this system no longer exist. All right. No longer exist. And then we have those who make decisions to hand over loved ones, friends, family, allegedly, for them to no longer exist, for them to take their next steps in the alleged rankings of said alleged cabal. This is a great one. So Ali Carter. A lot of people criticize survivors, right? Especially when the stories are so dark, right? That we don't really want to pay attention to them. It's easier to point a finger and go, no, that's all lies. That's all lies. It's just easier, right? It's comforting. It's comforting for us as the ones who never went through any of it, right? Who don't have to close our eyes and relive anything, right? It's more comforting for us to write that off. But the fact of the matter is, people say all the time to me, why would she be alive? Why would these individuals allegedly keep somebody walking around? Because it's the ultimate trophies. It's the ultimate trophies for these monsters. Having the ones they preyed on, and they've gone through such a level of horror, okay, that they've made it impossible for everyone to sit down and believe them, because some people cannot process what some individuals and survivors have been through. And I've always said that it's not, we don't have the right not to hear their stories, because they had no choice in what they went through. Yeah. So back on the conspiratorial trail, who would like to play What's Wrong with This Image? And there's the first person to tell me what's wrong with this image after I tell you what it is. So this is Disney's 1986. First of all, Who has seen Flight of the Navigator from 1986? One in the side chat. Okay. Because that was one of my favorite films growing up. It was flipping awesome. Okay. It was amazeballs. Okay. So now we're going to play What's Wrong with This Image, guys. Okay. This is from 1986 Disney movie. What's Wrong with This Image? I'm just going to leave you for a minute. I'm not really. I'm just going to have some Capri Sun in the background here. Do Capri Sun. All right. What's wrong with this image? Let me get the voice. What's wrong with this image? Correct. Yeah, we'll go with that one, Ray J. That's one I can actually put up on the screen. But AHCC, correct. We can see right here our FBI symbol for horrible groups of individuals. Right there, allegedly. Interesting, right? Interesting. Now, before we get off of this particular topic, right? Give me 1 second because no, wait, I left them in somewhere else. I forgot. We've got 2 more things to talk about. Right? First of all, we've got this nutter, and then we've got this. Right? Okay. All right. So this is not a conspiracy, but it ties in with, let's be honest, our fascination with hidden tunnels, right? So, you know, the tunnels have been at the center of the alleged crimes that Diddy's been accused of. We've heard all these rumors about mansion tunnels, about secret Starbucks and all of this. And people are often like, well, listen, how though? How could this exist, right? And then, you know, someone opens a door in a library and then just finds an entire hidden street. Do you know what I mean? What? I mean, what, mate? Like, how? I mean, don't get me wrong, right? There's a big difference between this and a bunch of evil tunnels, right? But when it comes to the subject of people just finding stuff, like imagine you worked in this library for years, right? Years and years and years. It did say library, right? Yeah. Okay. So imagine you worked in this library for years, right? Imagine your desk, right, is on the opposite side of this wall here, right? And you just thought this was a wall. And for years, you're like, oh, I have to hear weird things and all this stuff. And then you find that. All right. Aye, sound. I thought it was a ladder. Oh, I've got some questions. I would have some questions. All right. All right, let's read about this, right? So behind the door within the lower floors of the National Library of Scotland lies a forgotten street which gives a glimpse into how Edinburgh looked centuries. Oh, I tell you what, I live in Edinburgh and it is riddled. It is riddled with just, oh, by the way, you see Princess Street, the main street. If you've ever been to Edinburgh on holiday, you've been on Princess Street, right? There's just another street underneath it. What? And then there's the catacombs, not the catacombs, the vaults, which is where if you had the Black Plague and your family had the Black Plague, the Scottish government would give you a free home, okay, behind beautiful stainless steel bars deep underground. You can imagine how lovely a place that is. I think we'll probably go and do a ghost hunt there. It's wild, right? But there's just like streets built on top of a why? In fact, I tell you what. You're at you for some reason you're at a town meeting in your town. Okay. Okay. And you're there to discuss funding being spent on the town. And what they're suggesting is building a new street, right? On top of an existing street. Okay? It's just madness. So I don't understand, right? Why this has happened. But then when we start talking about mud floods, maybe, so like massive like shift of earth consumes said street. We then build new street, but surely the new street would fall down if all the earth was moved, right? Right? That don't make sense. Is that not what would happen? I think that's what would happen, right? That's probably what would happen, right? I mean, I'm thinking that because I mean that's what would happen, right? It would. Like literally, we could build a street out of Lego, right? And then fill it up with like flour, and then build a new Lego street, and then hoover out all of the flour and see what happens. Because I'm thinking catastrophic is what happens. And I tell you something else, it's a bit weird that they've done that and everything's just okay. It all just starts boggling my brain a little bit. Okay, Liberton's Wine in the heart of the old city was demolished to make way for George IV Bridge in 1830s. But part of the street still remains. It can be found between the bridge walls and the library building with access through a hidden door. The corridor, which has been named the Void by library staff, is not open to the public, but BBC Scotland has been allowed to see inside. It was discovered by the library officials in the 1990s when they broke down the small hatch in the wall behind the filing cabinets and then crawled through it. My geez. They found the passage with the arches into the chambers, and rooms are thought to have once stored storage for the bridge. That's wild. So this is what street is this? Liberton's Wine. I mean, there's I mean, I could literally take you guys on a live stream to a street that still looks exactly like that in Edinburgh. Maybe they're not unstable, right? But what I'm saying is it just seems a bit mad. It just seems a bit mad, mate. Like I say, I'm not an architectural expert or anything like that. I don't claim to be. I'm just a guy on the internet whose mind gets blown by the things he reads sometimes. Bill Jackson, a former director of the library, told the BBC News that he found old rotten furniture, ledgers, shoes, a slate urinal, and there were more than 100 years old, but were waterlogged and damaged. My torch was hardly illuminating anything. It was very dark when we went through, and it was a bit scary. I wanted to get out of there. It was fascinating, though. Since then, he has fitted lights in another door at the Cowgate end of the Void. Now, the Cowgate is wild, okay? Like, it is... We'll maybe just have to go one night, right? We'll maybe go one night and go for a wander around Edinburgh at night, because the Americans will lose their freaking minds. I'll tell you that right now. Okay. I'm going to take you to Rhodes, America, right? Just bits of ground that are about 3 times as old as your entire country. It's going to blow your minds. Okay. Blow your mind. They're terrible. They're cobbled. Okay. You sound like this when you drive over them. But man, there is some history that we refuse to allow to get rid of in this country. Like, why wouldn't you want a road to be like the fat side of an egg shape? Why would you want flat roads that are smooth? You want curved roads that are cobbled, right? That's what you want, that have zero traction in the rain and the snow. Brilliant, mate. But if anybody tried to remove those roads from Edinburgh, there'd be riots. I'm just saying, right? There would be riots. The library rooms were built on top of the foundations, which can still be seen of the building that was demolished and Libertines wanting to make use for the fourth floor bridge. Robbie Mitchell. Oh my God. That's wild. Robbie Mitchell's reference assistant to the library said that inside the passageway, you could see brickwork of the library's lower levels and the bridge's stonework, although not preserved street like Mary King's Close. This nevertheless offers a glimpse. Whoa. The chamber of void in which would have been used for storage of the walls of the George IV Bridge. That's mental, mate. But that is what the vaults look like. That's what a lot of underground Edinburgh looks like, right? It is creepy though, right? I mean, that is. But in saying that, I mean that if you're, they just don't build stuff like this anymore. There's a reason why. There's a reason why the stuff we built ages ago is so badass that we can just build a new thing on top of it and it's just okay. You know, right? So do you know what blows my mind is when we were in the era of stonemasonry, where none of this had any mortar in it, and all of this was held up with a single keystone here that held everything. Mental. Also, calling it the void. I mean, could you make it any creepier at all? So anyway, there we go. That was just another thing on the whole subject of tunnels, hidden things, and people sort of questioning whether or not these things could just exist without us knowing, if that makes sense. I sent you a link last night to a video, Christy? No, definitely not. This whole weekend I was doing proper grown-upping, wallpapering and stuff like that. I've actually got wallpapering to do this evening as well. So after the Beverly show tonight, that's what I will be doing. I will be getting my backside in to finish off the wallpapering for my wonderful lady and our new arrival. Now, a couple of updates, right? Old McGregor. We talked about him last week, where he lost a civil case, right? Conor McGregor leaving court after the civil jury found him guilty of SA. Now, it's not a criminal case, it's a civil case, but still terrible. Terrible. I mean, just terrible. And just terrible. And do you know why? I mean, I don't get it, right? I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Why do people do these things? And again, I just want to say, I've heard compelling arguments for both sides on this case. Okay? Both sides. Did he do it? Didn't he do it? Was the evidence wrong? Was it this? Was it that? I've heard arguments from both sides. So I am completely 100% going to go with what the courts are saying, right? But I don't know. There's a whisper of like, on this one for me. Okay. But you wouldn't get guilty. But in saying that, was he found? I can't remember what he. Listen, the whole thing's a bit complicated, right? Fight game is Conor McGregor proclaimed to his millions of social media followers on Tuesday, while realtors pulled products linked to him from the shelf. Murals of him were erased, and brands announced they had cut ties. It followed a 12-person jury in Dublin finding him guilty. He was found guilty of that. There's so many misleading stories on this, right? Nah, Trev, you got to be 51-49 in favor of the court. It's a much better way of sitting on the fence. There's a little pinky toe over. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. It followed a 12-person jury. in a civil case brought by Nikita Han, who accused him of doing that in a Dublin hotel in December, where she was awarded a whole whack of cash and damages. In a social media post, McGregor said that he would appeal the decision. Right. So, yeah, again, I'm more than happy to go with what the courts have said and then pay closer attention to what the appeal is. But I'll be honest with you, Maggie's argument and Queenie's argument, I could quite easily get on board with either of them. Does that make sense? So I'm in no way saying he's innocent. I'm not saying he's guilty. I'm saying whatever the courts say, that's what we're going to have to go with until anything else happens, basically. But brands are cutting their ties. But the thing for me, right? Like, I don't drink his whiskey, right? I don't drink his beer. I certainly think it's been a while since any of us have seen him do anything spectacular from a fighting point of view. But I'm a big fan of the BKFC, right? And he bought in to the BKFC a year ago, maybe. And he's a very vocal part owner. And it's kind of sad because the guy who runs the BKFC was just a massive fanboy of bare knuckle fighting. And then he built up his entire organization from the ground up. And, you know, if I had a fighting company and Conor McGregor walks in and says, hey, do you want to be partners? You're going to say yes. Because, I mean, freaking biggest name in fighting in the world, right? But then for this to happen, man. Hang on a second. How are you, Morgan? It's been a while. Give you a hint. Ron made me dress up as Carol Baskin. Oh, Baskin. My mum looks a lot like Carol Baskin. Like, I'm not even in like a funny way. Like, in a, you know, if she wasn't my mother, I'd be like, Carol Baskin has moved to Scotland. Okay, it's wild. It is wild. So, anyway, Conor McGregor, BKFC, all that stuff. It's going to be interesting to see because I don't know if there's been any comment made from them, and I don't know if any of you care about this, but it's only going to take a minute, so just relax. BKFC make statement on McGregor. All right. Nah. Oh, damn. I mean, here's the report of him joining the BKFC. Conor McGregor becomes part owner of the BKFC. Welcome to the big leagues. And I mean, don't get me wrong, he was a bit like P. Diddy in a music video, right? Like, what are you doing here? What are you doing? What are you doing, mate? Okay. So yeah, going to see what happens from this one. I really, really am. But my God, why do people keep doing this? Like, I don't see. And do you know what? My brain goes to that place, right? Where we start, oh, well, they're famous. They've got it all. You know, they're good looking people. Why would they need to do this to someone, right? And for me, people that do these things are going to do these things, right? But then you've got that sliver where something happens that isn't a defining. I don't have to say these things. So there's people that do terrible things, but it's a moment that happens. But then there's those people that like to are that repeatedly are. Okay. Do you see the definition? The two differences, right? So for me, with cases like this, Are we going to see an influx of more survivors? Is it going to be a one-off thing that happened? Allegedly. Well, not allegedly, because it's reported that it did happen because he lost his court case. It's just mad. I am unbelievably not this shade of pink, just so you know. His other half spoke out today. Yeah, well, I mean, it's his brands, like I say, it's just going to be an exodus. An exodus from there. A big shout out to everyone that's watching on the Project Rook channel as well. Big shout out to you guys. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. That is the text you can see on the screen when I'm on full screen here. Now, let me just send out some Maggie. Ping you a link. And then once everyone else has read that stuff I've sent over. But yeah, Maggie, I've pinged you over a link if you want to come join us for a little chat. We're approaching 2 hours, everyone. If you guys could like and share, push this out for me, it really does make all the difference, especially with me being absent. It really does help. I'm just going to do a quick refresh of the Diddy news page. Okay, yeah, that's the one we just read. Jesus. Like, oh, here's a good one. Read real life Godfather situation. Real life Godfather situation. Diddy's mother and son clash over his Diddy's mum and son, so that must be King, clash over his 400 million fortune amid legal troubles. Oh man, like you hear stories about somebody's relative dying and then like the family fighting over, you know, a regular person's house full of stuff or memory. It's different if it's memories, right? Or if, like, you know, you've got a self-medicating, substance abusing person in the family, you might want to keep the precious jewelry away from them. You know what I'm saying? But 400 million. Oh yeah, there's going to be some. There has been some catty things said behind each of these family members' backs. I'm telling you. Hang on a second. And 1 second. Oh, that is my wonderful Dan here. Everyone give me 1 second while I go and answer the door for her. 1 second. Yes, the wonderful Dan has made it home. Thank God. Thank God. The gods, indeed. What? I had a what? I just got busted for ordering a bacon roll. Okay, right. We're back on. There we go. The hair is now all cattywampus. All right. Great. Please, yeah, nice one, Trevor. Please, yeah. I mean, what is freaking going on here? You're now just going to watch a fully grown man fumble about with his hair.
Are they?
Oh, they are chicken, babe. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. All right. There we go. Okay. So, 400 million. Okay. Sean Diddy Combs has received constant support from his family, including his mother, partner, and children, despite emerging evidence of hundreds of lawsuits against him. However, it is now being reported that the disgraced mogul's mother, Janice Combs, and his son, Christian King Combs, are allegedly locking horns, metaphorically speaking, of course, over Diddy's fortune worth over 400 million. Well, it was 900 million a wee while ago, right? So is this what's remaining? What? Yes, love that. I love that. Meanwhile, the rapper is behind bars in Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center and awaits his trial, or fish, mate, fish or a rice cake. Behind bars in Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center and awaits his trial. Diddy's mom and son dispute over his fortune. I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? Like it does. It makes sense that these people are going to be fighting over the scraps, and this is before, right? This is before he's even been sentenced. Now, what do we think about all of the allegations going around about who's going to be next? In this case, I've heard allegedly Snoop Dogg. There's meant to be certain allegations, but again, this is just internet rumors. Where are you guys all with? Because I tell you what, put a 1 in the side chat if you thought you would have heard more people being arrested or more people from Hollywood being pulled into court by now. Like, where are you guys landing on how many people who are allegedly also involved in this that we've not heard about? Do you think there's anything going on behind the scenes, or do you think it's all a bit weird? Like, because I swear to God, I tell you something, right? For people that are a part of the whole hashtag save Ron's coccyx, he needs a new chair club. I need to get a new desk first because I need to turn everything this way, because I want to get a different style of chair. Okay, we're done with these bucket seat madness chairs. They are just here to destroy the rumpus. The rumpus area does not agree. Now, where are we? All right. So yeah, let me just before I start getting into the final segment of the show, where we're just going to have a little chitty chat about a whole conundrum of things. Then, like I say, tonight at 6 o'clock, we have Awaken with Beverly Rhodes and myself. And put a 1 in the side chat if any of you, because here's the thing for me, because the audience is so widely spread, and it's mainly the UK, the US, which is 2 time zones, right? The 5 and 8 hours, and then Australia, which is like 7 weeks in the future, and then the clocks go back and you're like 2 weeks in the past, right? I can never figure out Australia. So members night is going to rotate around different times and evenings so that everyone can be included. But right now where I am, it's 4 o'clock. I'll just call it 4 o'clock, 4 minutes to 4, right? So 7 hours ago, it would be like 9 in the morning, okay? And probably about, is there any point in doing it at 10? I really want to do a morning show, right? But with Beverly, maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes, no cameras on, very much meeting for a coffee in the morning. But if that was to be the UK, that would have to be like 8 o'clock, right? So I really want to do that. I really want to do that. Like, I really, really, really want to do that. Because, you know, and I like making content for you guys. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of you, if it's conspiracies and the cabal, love it, right? If it's the sort of stuff that I used to with, going after bad people and exposing them, love it. But Beverly and aliens, alien DNA, crystals, witchcraft, magic, spiritual stuff, this is a whole journey that I feel like I'm on, and some of you guys are on as well. And it is the favorite thing that I'm doing right now. Obviously, I love the Daily Show, right? But I mean, that's very self-indulgent, if you know what I mean. There's not much learning going on for me. There's just, we're reading some headlines, we're talking about some cool stuff, we're having a good time. But whereas with Bev, it's like, it's a madness, mate. It's a madness. Oh, there's Letitia. Thank you, Letitia. Sending the wonderful Lady Letitia the panel link after she's had to read a whole bunch of nonsense. So what else? I don't know. Lady Letitia's going to come and join us. We'll get some chitty chat going. But while we're waiting for Letitia, crop circles. Where are we all landing on crop circles? Okay, because there's a whole. Do you know the whatever the NASCAR lines are? Like all those big. Let me bring them up. Right. What the hell are they called? The Sutton lines. The NAS lines or something. I don't know. How are they called? Yeah, there we go. Close enough. NASCAR. There we go. My brain is. Listen, do you know what? Fair play to my brain. It almost got that one totally right. Fair play. So, okay. Like, where do we even begin with this? Where do we begin with this? Anyone? Because crop circles, okay, mad farmer with some planks. We've seen how some very, very convincing crop circles have been made as hoaxes and all of this. How long would it take you and a friend to do that? All right. You can have whatever tools you want, okay? But you can have whatever tools you want, but you're not allowed to have anything that guides you. All right. How long is it going to take you and a friend to replicate that? And you can do it here. Okay. Do it here. How long? It's a serious question. How long? Like, I'm thinking a while. Okay. I'm not doubting you and your friend. I'm just thinking there's a good chance that that ain't happening. And then the pyramids lining up with the star constellations. And what is this guy? What's this guy all about? What's this little guy? Hey, what's he about? I mean, that's a bit sus. So yeah, listen, the whole concept of this awakening, the whole concept of these things being hidden from us. Are you all right? Okay, I just want to, because my mic's picking up everything. I know. Oh, put a 1 on the side chat if any of you heard the background noise that was going on there. Sorry, babe. You're just eating. Oh God, right. So my eldest daughter, Kirsten, we were out for dinner. Ran from my mum's for dinner last night, meeting her new boyfriend, like I was saying. And she brought. Now, Americans, this isn't new to you, right? But there's a new Cinnabon company that's like a pop-up company in Edinburgh, and she handed me a box of 6 pastries. All right, 6 pastries. And it felt like I was being handed about 7 bricks in a box. I've never been handed pastries before and had to like riddy myself once my brain had felt the weight of the box. All right. Okay. So I don't know who came up with the Cinnabon, right? But it was definitely somebody who was fully pro diabetes. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we track the origin of the Cinnabon, right, and the invention of insulin to the same year. Okay. Because there is no justification in the world for a pastry that if I was to just leave it to dry, right? If I was to leave that pastry to dry out and then I threw it at your face, okay? Weaponized. That's all I'm saying. All right. And I came home last night. Where was I even going with this story? But anyway, Cinnabons, Biscoff Cinnabons, right? Biscoff Cinnabons, mate, right? Biscoff Cinnabons. So you put them in the microwave for about a minute and they become if happiness was a flavor, okay, it's a warm Cinnabon. Okay. And then you just Biscoff and that. Hang on a second. Thoughts on the ET battle in the sky on December 4th. This was predicted by a software program in 2000. December 4th. That's in 2 days. Huh. I tell you, what are my thoughts on it? Definitely real. Okay. I'm fully engaged, fully committed to this. Just heard about it right now. But if it turns out not to happen, I'm all right with going all in. I'm all right with going all in on that. Oh, Biscoff. Do you know what else? Do you remember when Biscoff first came out in the jars? I was so confused. It's a spreadable biscuit. What are you meant to put that on? It feels wrong putting on toast, because at what point have you ever eaten a bit of bread and went, I think I'll just slap a wee biscuit on this? No one has done that. So put a 1 in the side chat if 90% of the Biscoff you've consumed has been consumed off of a spoon in a shameful way, alone in your kitchen. Okay, alone in your kitchen, and you're not even doing like a nice spoon. You're putting the spoon in like it's a melon baller, right? And you are scooping that bad boy out of there. All right. Do you know, those of you who know, you know what I'm talking about. And you just stood there, just yeah, Biscoff. Madness. It's a madness. Listen, it's probably tomorrow for Australia. In fact, the 4th of December has probably already happened in Australia. In fact, it's probably New Year's in Australia right now. So big shout out to all the Australians and Happy New Year. You know what I'm saying? You've never tried Biscoff. Don't do it, mate. It's a slippery slope. Honestly. I don't want to be the guy, because I'm just saying, Ray J, I don't want to be the guy that introduces you to that, and then your life comes to a grinding halt because of the consequences of the Biscoff. All right. I've got hair in my mouth. Put 1 in the side chat if you've ever inhaled your own hair when you've been like running for a bus or something like that, or the car window's been down and all of a sudden you're being asphyxiated by your own hair. That doesn't happen in Vikings. Okay, there's no Viking running across the battlefield inhaling their own hair. Welcome, Maggie. How are you?
Hello, everyone. You.
How are you? Good to have you back. What's been happening?
Well, so much things has been happening in the Diddy community, but now I'm looking at what is that on the sand?
This is one of the I can't remember the Nazca lines. So this is a little man that's been carved out of about half a mile of the ground, and it's been there for years, and nobody can really explain their origins, shall we say. There's lots of different things that make sense, like spiders, monkeys, like a cat looking thing, but then you have this weird looking dude. Do you know what I mean? It's just odd.
That is like extraterrestrial thing, right?
It's weird, like man. It's super weird. It's super. The NASCAR lines. Thank you, Maria. Thank you. NASCAR lines. NASCAR. Actually, everyone, every American will remember that. Also, what is NASCAR? Like, it's so massive in America. I'm not actually asking. It's just the ADHD. But Maggie, take us on your algorithmically friendly review of the Didosphere this week. Like, what's kind of been sticking out for you? We've had fashion icon or fashion designers allegedly dangled over railings. We've had mother and grandson fighting over fortunes. Apparently, poor JLo's health is deteriorating because of Diddy and her connections. My heart goes out to you, JLo. Seriously. But yeah, take us through your takes, Maggie, from this week, if you don't mind.
Well, what I've seen this week is basically that I'm so happy that Diddy didn't get bail, but because I remember we had all those conversations with Paula and everything, and all I could think was, I knew he wasn't going to get bail that easily. People are freaking out too easily about Diddy and his whole power dynamic. Like, Diddy is really, really probably going to stay in jail, except if, the prosecution really, really, really mess up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you remember all the kerfuffle over when they went into his cell? Do you see what I mean? And do you think the media is just playing us a little bit with, he could get out, that'll sell, that'll get some clicks? And if so, can we really blame them for that? You think?
Yeah, exactly. I cannot blame them for wanting to have click, but at the same time, I do feel that it's possible that Diddy is the one trying to influence the public opinion. Like we know that he was doing that, like in his cell, and that the prosecution was against that because Diddy was extremely close to Johnny Cochran. So that man basically won the O.J. Simpson case by convincing the public opinion. So I think that Diddy may think that by influencing us into believing that the case of the prosecution is not that strong, or that some victim are not really victim, or that etc., that could make it seem like the public has a lot of opinion, that could help him. Because I think that he's really looking at the Johnny Cochran type of like playbook.
Interesting. And I asked the viewers earlier, right, about whether or not they're surprised that no one else is being called in. No celebrities, no one else. Do you think that's going to happen and it's by design? Also, as well, I'm just putting up a new banner here that says, "This is all allegedly. Diddy is, of course, innocent until proven guilty. Can never be too safe." You know what I'm saying? You can never be too safe in the world of YouTube. All right. So yeah, So
Mhm.
what do you think? Do you think that it's odd that it's just Diddy, right? Because we've seen a couple of interviews now, especially the Suge Knight one, where he went on to say we can't just put it all on one man,
Yeah.
and he goes into. Do you think that we're going to see a snowball of other people? And if so,
I,
do you think
yeah.
we're waiting to see that? Yeah, sorry, I'm dragging this question out. You know
No,
what I'm
no, no.
asking.
Yeah, exactly. I think that right now, Diddy is still trying to influence the public opinion. He's still trying to get out of it. But I think that the prosecution is probably not going to tell any name of any artist or whatever until the trial. And I think, what is this?
Yeah, no, sorry, I pushed the wrong button. It's the wrong page. I want to be on this page. It's this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wrong starting out. Yeah, I pushed the wrong button. I beg your pardon. Right.
So I think the only person that could come out with celebrity names would be Diddy. And I think that right now he still believes that he can get out of the situation. But I think that when he's gonna realize that he's really, 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 really like in big trouble, he's probably gonna maybe start giving other name. And I think that's when we may hear other like artists, maybe bigger than him, and people that are more important than him. That maybe when we hear that.
Do you think, though, right?
Mhm.
And this is obviously all allegedly and speculation. Do you think
Allegedly.
he has to pick wisely?
Oh, yes.
Because if you pick the wrong, part of the Jenga board, right, too soon, I mean, I'm not wanting to use terms like, man on the island, right, and things like that. But it seems like when we were showing that video earlier, everyone, about the celebrities that are no longer here and the suspicious things that they were going to uncover, right? We have to then assume that it's possible that if Diddy allegedly doesn't play by the book for this particular chapter, that he could end up one of these faces for very different reasons, I might add, not for any of the trying to better the world scenarios. It would certainly be the other side of that. But what do you think the likelihood of that is? Do you think that right now there's a weird meeting going on about who they're going to put on the chopping block, and Diddy's allegedly waiting on possibly being said, hey, these are the people that we can throw under the bus, metaphorically speaking?
I think that Diddy right now is trying to not throw under the bus anyone, because I think that he sincerely believes that he will get away with everything. And I think that the moment that he will start giving other people's name, that is when he will really feel that there is no chance for him to survive that situation. But at the same time, if he gives other people's name, that may be when he get Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, I think so. But I think there's something going on where they've made it very clear how this is going to play out. And if
Yeah.
he wants any form of, I mean, let's be honest, if you're in a situation where you've got, a poop sandwich and a double poop sandwich, you're going to take the poop sandwich over the double poop sandwich. And I feel like he's in a situation like this now where is even the concept of him even ever stepping out of prison ever going to happen? I mean, let's be honest. Is he deluded, or is there something going on in the background? Because
I think he's deluded. He's a narcissist. Well, allegedly, maybe he may be a narcissist. So the narcissists have a tendency to believe that in any way, shape, and possible, he will get out of it. That's why he keeps on trying for bail, because after one time, two time, you should let it go. But he cannot stop because he believes that he can still play the system, because that's what he did for 25 years. He never suffered any consequences. So I think that right now he's still lying to himself, and also in his head, he is like blaming kind of Cassie and acting as if Cassie is the only reason the feds have a case. So I think that for him, he's still trying to manipulate the
but is
public
that not
opinion.
incredibly clever? Like
To what?
when you say that out loud, that is incredibly clever and manipulative. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If you're only acknowledging the one we have a 4K video for, okay, that he subsequently acknowledged himself, there's going to be a percentage of people that just forget about the 130, 40 other cases. That is testament to evil's like refining of mind control, allegedly. Now, one other thing that we were talking about earlier was Jamie Foxx. He has a Netflix special coming out. Our very own big homie CC mentioned multiple times in this article, discussing the fact that allegedly during the recording of this show, Jamie Foxx goes on to say some pretty spicy things about what happened to him and all the rest of it. Have you heard about this? If so, what is your take?
I've heard that there is a possibility that he may have suggested that Diddy had something to do with him ending up in the hospital, because he may have been at different like Diddy party. Allegedly, maybe that's the rumor that I'm hearing, and that he could be starting to talk about his experience with Diddy, and that like Jimmy Foxx and I'll be sure are the two ones that would have survived.
Okay. Let me read you this, right? Because just listen to this. So, Joke No Joke, a producer director, told Comedy Hype's YouTube account on October 7th that he was at the first and third shows of the recording. Joke No Joke said Fox identified himself as the one who called the FBI on Combs, and who has been in custody since September, is arrested in New York. His connection with this. Fox said in a serious tone during one of the shows that Diddy was responsible for what happened to him. Like we all know we all know the story, right? We all know the story, all that.
Yeah.
But that's massive. I mean, am I missing something here? That is wild. So we could allegedly be looking at the fact that this whole thing is happening because Jamie Foxx picked up the right phone on the right time and got a hold of the right FBI agent. It's a bit, I mean, allegedly, as the massive scrolling banner says, okay, okay, allegedly, okay.
But yeah, I don't know why Jimmy Foxx will react right now, because I think he's probably been aware of what Diddy is doing and what Diddy is for years. But the fact that he wanted to come out right now, and then the moment that he's thinking about like just calling the FBI, that is when suddenly he get really, really sick. Same for I'll Be Sure. The moment he start questioning everything, that's when he gets really, really sick. So I wouldn't be surprised at all that this just proves that Diddy is the type of man, like he said, that he makes people disappear. That man has no problem, maybe, making sure that people are not there anymore. And the fact that Jimmy Foxx decided to do it right now, not now, but like before.
So
when so close. Oh yeah, just to say, so close to Kim Porter, that's why I'm like, maybe is that the you know.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. See, are we now seeing a convenient, consumable? This is how it all started. I'm even getting suspicious of Jamie Foxx now. Okay, I'm like, the timing of everything is this. Are we all going to
Exactly.
be made to look this way, and then it will turn out none of this has been made it into the Netflix series, and it's all been cut out, and none of us see anything. It's interesting. I'm not taking anything away from Jamie Foxx, or anything he's done, or anything that's happened. I'm just
Yeah.
saying this whole case, this whole Didosphere is just
Mhm.
so dark and complicated.
Yes, and at the same time, like you were saying, for me, how can I not really doubt a little Jimmy Fox? Why do it now? Like, he has been in the business with Diddy since the 90s.
Well, it could come down to the fact that people now feel safe because he's genuinely behind bars. And look at you. I wonder, because I think he's got one more. Has he got one more appeal for bail? Is that right? One more?
He's going to probably try again for the 4th time.
Okay, because I'm pretty sure he's going to run out of chances. And I think once they say like 100%, no more chances, he is in jail, I think we're going to see another run of people. I think there's still a level of fear within a demographic of victim, allegedly, a big allegedly, right?
Yeah.
I finally reword this. In cases like this, we often see waves of confidence with survivors. I'm not necessarily talking about the Diddy case anymore. I could be talking about any case, but waves of survivors that come when their safety barriers are met. So whether it's they've been arrested, okay, now they're being held in jail, okay, now they're not going to get bail. There's these certain levels, but we also have to factor in just how far a reach from these prisons or restricted lives powerful people have. And some people, there may be no place until who done what they did to them passes on before their fear, they're in a place where they feel safe because that person no longer exists. We've seen it with Savile, so
Exactly.
I
But
wonder.
at the same time, Jimmy Foxx decided he got sick in April 2023. Diddy was not yet in captivity.
Yep. Oh, I know.
So
I know the time. No, it wasn't about the timings there. It was
okay.
It was just more about because we were just saying why now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, why
and it
now?
may just be. I don't know. I honestly think that with Jamie Foxx, I would probably put my $5 chip down on the table with probably what we've heard is true. Something terrible happened to him at the hands of a certain individual, right? He definitely made some phone calls to some powerful people in police and things like this, and contributed to the downfall of this individual. But we don't know any of that. But I would be quite capable of believing that. Lady Letitia, how are you?
Hello, Ron. How are you? How's baby Nova?
Baby Nova is now fully turned round, no longer in breach, and we are in the countdown.
Getting ready.
Like, I'm telling you now, if we were to put like a 7-day timer behind me, I don't think the timer would have a chance to run out. Like, I think we're getting super close. I think we're really, really getting super duper close. So yeah, y'all ever? Yeah, we read this. Okay, we're having a conversation, man. I'm trying my best. I've been off for 4 days. Okay, 5 days, 6 days. Give me a break. First day back. Right? Don't bust my chops too hard. Okay. Okay, we're also approaching 2.5 hours. I'm doing my best. Okay. I appreciate it. Please don't stop watching. Can we get some liking and sharing just before we were in the last sort of segment of the show? I would love to see us top 1,000 viewers on YouTube before the end of the show. I would really love that. And if we can try and help me push this up to 2,000 daily viewers by Christmas, like we were at before.
The little break.
There we go. The little break. Ron, did you get a new chair? No, I need to get a new desk first so that I can turn everything this way, and then I can get the chair, because the chair I want is not going to fit in here, man. Like, this is the wall. The wall's here. You know what I mean? but we're getting there. Okay, there's just been more important things. I've got wallpaper to do today and in our live stream to do. It's all systems go. So Lady Letitia, we've been talking about the 2 points, the one being Jamie Foxx and his up and coming Netflix series. And the first thing we were talking, what the hell was the first thing we were talking about, Maggie?
Diddy.
Yeah, but what was, yeah, I know Diddy, right?
Well, you were asking, well, I know you asked, Matt. I know because I was listening.
I can't remember what it was. It was, we were speaking about something, then we went on to Jamie Foxx. What was it we were talking about initially?
We talked about the weird drawing in the sand. We talked about Diddy and his case and if he had any possibility of actually getting out.
Oh yeah, that was it. That was it. That was it. Okay. So what do you think, Letitia? Is he going to see bail before the court case? And do you know about the Jamie Foxx special that's coming?
I don't know about the Jamie Foxx special, but I about the alleged poison going on. But I don't think he's going to get bail. I think when they said he was a danger to society, I thought, like, whoa, you put that kind of tag on someone because they said that he was a danger. Like, he can't get out because he would wreak havoc.
Yeah.
Like, that's serious. Like, that's some serious, serious stuff. Like, he's done something that is way more illegal than what we've been discussing.
Yeah. No, I think
for them to say that he's a danger to society and we're not going to let him out because of what he has been currently doing in jail, which is tampering with witnesses, messing with phones, and doing things that he shouldn't be doing to affect his case. Like Maggie was saying earlier, you know, trying to persuade people into thinking that he's some pillar of society, but he has proven allegedly that he is not, and that they don't trust him out here in society at all.
Yeah, I think if we go by a lot of the testimonies that we've heard from people, survivors, witnesses, people in the industry, it doesn't paint a particularly good portrait of Diddy. And of course, we're all waiting for this Jamie Foxx Netflix special, Lady Letitia, that was reported today in the Daily Mail, that people who went to see the screenings of and the recording sessions said that Jamie Foxx says that allegedly Diddy is responsible for what happened to him, and that he was the one who assisted with calling the FBI and all of this. And it seems like if what we're reading and what we're allegedly hearing is real, it's going to be quite a mad Jamie Foxx chapter in the Diddy sphere, in the Diddyverse.
That
100%.
is going to be something because, you know, if that is true, you know, when they come out with the documentary, is Jamie Foxx going to press charges? Is he gonna, you know, take legal action? You would think he would do something like that before he does a documentary about it.
Well, here's the thing, right? So, what if he can't prove anything?
Just to correct, he's not doing a documentary about
stand up. It's stand up.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So
it's just a moment of the stand up.
What if he can't prove anything? What if he can't? What if he could only prove certain things, or what if he assisted with the? I don't know, right? But if I was told by a lawyer, you know, this is probably not going to get you any convictions or anything like that, I'm definitely taking the bag off Netflix and going and telling the story. Okay, like if I ain't going through the courts, because you would imagine, if he was going to go through the courts, the first thing his lawyer is going to say is, "You see that Netflix special? You probably just want to keep it stum." Do you know what I mean? Lawyers are the masters of default say nothing as an answer,
right?
And I think that sincerely, Jamie Foxx, he may have denounced Diddy, but for how many years he was in the industry, what are the possibility that he didn't go from victim to abuser like most of them are? So if he were to go after Diddy legally, then his own past would be exposed.
Well, yeah, maybe, but how many how many of the people that participated, right, are pneumonia victims, other than the ones who are, Diddy's wives and people who there was always an underlying other story, people's babies, all this kind of stuff, and none of them. Well, maybe we're just not looking in the right places. Maybe there's dozens of them.
Exactly. I think they are. I think the Hollywood has a thing with, like Diddy. Diddy started in Hollywood as a victim and then became an abuser. It's like you have to become an abuser to be accepted and become as famous as you want to be. And Jamie Foxx is a famous person. So I don't believe that for 30 years he was only a victim. But I think that there is something that pushed him into actually trying to talk about Diddy when he never did before. So it's more that element en français. In French, it's like élément déclencheur.
We need to abbreviate some words. So it's difficult when it comes to the A word, because we'll just say do terrible things.
Exactly.
Terrible things.
What makes you think that Diddy is the victim? Who's the victim?
Well, no, it's
Diddy
an interesting.
He was a victim before, like from Clive Davis and Andre Orel.
I see.
From what everyone is saying
being in the industry.
Exactly.
Allegedly. Well, here's the other thing.
Allegedly, of course.
Well, here's the other thing, right? What if? And I'm not saying this takes away from any sort of victim side of the Diddy sphere, but what if the narrative is he was born into this? What if it was normalized very early on? And again, there's a good chance that that's not the case. It's just all the footage and stories of his mum, they're a bit like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
So I think you could be completely right. I think there could be arguments for either side that he was a victim and then became what he is allegedly. But then I can see arguments for, he was born this way and just the glove just fit. I really, really can.
You think people can just be born evil?
Oh yeah, I've met people that are born evil.
Yeah.
Born.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Like nothing happened.
I've met a guy who has ended 70 women and left them at the sides of the road.
Wow.
Okay. But what happened to him before? Like nothing? He just woke up and decided?
Yep. He doesn't like it when people are rude to him. We're talking about a guy who got into substance transportation because there was already a corpse in the van. So what difference does it make if the cops find a bunch of substances? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's just a different level of people out there. And it's these are the ones, though, that fascinate me, Maggie, are the ones that on paper are the same as I always say, like me, right? Because I don't have a traumatic thing in my past that I consider to be traumatic anyway, that would be seen as one of the catalysts to create that mindset. And it fascinates me. It fascinates me for the people who are on paper normal, but for some reason I'm into gaming and bushcraft, and they're in to ending a bunch of people.
Because because I watch a lot of, like, let's say true crime and etc. And most of the time you can see that they start and they had a horrible childhood and they had a horrible this, but being a victim and then becoming someone who does terrible thing doesn't, like, the fact of being a victim doesn't excuse anything,
right?
But at the same time, because I have a lot of difficulty believing that someone would just be born evil, but I understand that this could be the case. But I'm pretty sure that Diddy, I don't know how he was born, but I know that thing happened to him. And Brent keep on telling us that we are really loud. Can you
not to bring up her, but isn't Megan born evil?
I mean, think so.
Do you think over time she became narcissistic?
I think I'll be honest, from what Samantha told us, she had very unique characteristics as a child. So, as a child, if you're caught doing something naughty, right, you're taking a cookie at the cookie jar. and you get busted doing it, you have a sense of guilt where you say, "Oh, I'm sorry, or whatever,"
Right.
and that wasn't present there. But does that mean
Yeah.
evil? I don't know. Does that mean narcissistic tendencies? I don't know. But
Sinister.
that's certainly what our sister said. So I think that's always what I go by, because who better to go by than literally key witnesses to her growing up?
Right.
That's what. Do you see what I mean?
What
But
I've what I've seen mostly with those type of like people that do seem evil when they grow up, they are either extremely traumatized by their own childhood, or they were basically never told no. Because with Megan, that's why
okay.
I'm thinking that she was like not born, but they made her like that. If you take a cookie from the cookie jar and your parent doesn't tell you this is bad, then how do you learn what is bad and what is wrong?
I'm with you.
Like,
So
yeah.
it's a product of your surrounding. So if you only witness evil, right? Well, if you only witness evil, then you're not growing up evil. You're just growing up in your
Right.
environment.
It's like normal to them.
Yeah, correct. It doesn't mean it's not evil, but it's good that you noticed that, because it's normal. And what are we talking about here? Why are these people not normal? We are so normal. Why are they not normal? Well, here's the thing: if you're
We're so normal, Ron.
well, you get what I'm saying for the baseline of the argument here.
Right.
Whatever
Yes,
is
I understand.
normalized is normal.
That's true.
You know,
And
you
that's
ever
what
seen
I
that movie?
think with with Megan. I think that's what she was. She always was taught that what she wants, she should get, and so she's just continuing with that pattern.
Did any of you ever seen Nell, the movie Nell? Whack it to the wee, whack it to the wee. Jodie Foster, I think it was, right? About a girl called Nell, right, who is raised in the forest by her grandma, completely away from society, has her own language, has no like concept of the world. And I mean, it's a movie. Like it's an old movie. It's like Liam Neeson and Jodie Foster. Right? She pure runs into glass doors because she's never seen glass before and stuff like this, right? Why am I showing you Nell? What were we just talking about?
Evil, if you're born evil or not,
normal. Okay, so this is a great example of what is normal is what you're surrounded by. That was my point on this one. Nailed it. And it's a great example of, if you are just sheltered from what we consider normality, the upbringing can be so different. We've got a case going on right now where a little girl, for 3.5, from the day she was born, she has lived in a drawer under a bed, right? For 3 years. In a drawer under a bed, never seen sunlight, being fed through a straw.
Wow.
What, mate? Like, was her mum or her parents that did that to her, were they notoriously evil people?
Yes.
But here's the thing: we don't know the backstory. Maybe they were. I mean, obviously they were, right? I mean, it takes a special kind of crazy to do that. But what was the signs? What were what did society miss? You know, how do you walk about pregnant, have a baby, and then everyone's just like, oh, no baby for 3.5 years? You know,
right? Exactly.
It's wild. It is wild. You know, so yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
So is Diddy just going to keep trying to get out? Like, how many times can he request to get out?
He's trying to discredit Cassie by any means possible. Like, I think a couple of days ago, he found 6 people who work. Where is Ron?
Ron pushed the wrong button. Ron pushed the wrong button. I need you just keep talking. I need to set up the second camera for this mode here. Hang on a second.
Okay, that's good. So he's trying to say to what's he called? He's trying Diddy is trying to prove that Cassie was a willing participant in the Diddy amusement party.
Oh,
and he found,
okay. So that's his defense.
Yeah, he's saying that he found 6 people who work for amusement, He found 6 of them to testify that it was willing, and he was trying to discredit the video and say that it was like AI generated.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah,
He's telling stories now.
yes, that like his obsession is for him and Diddy's head. He's really think that the entire case is on Cassie.
Well, yeah, but
So
the
he
thing is,
really
he's
thinks he's
already
gonna get
acknowledged
off.
the video. He already publicly acknowledged the video. So surely at that point, he would have said, "This is a bunch of
Right.
AI. What are you talking about?" And just ignore the 30 million that I paid to make this go away, allegedly.
Yes,
No,
you've
now
admitted that was you, and it wasn't your proudest moment.
but it doesn't matter. Now he's trying to act as if this was AI generated, how violent it was. He's not saying that the entire interaction was
Oh,
fake, but that's like how violent it
he's
was
exaggerated.
fake. Exactly. And he's trying to now prove that it was a lifestyle and that Cassie was also as mean to him as he was to her. So that's why he's trying to prove, because for him, the two way he's going to win is by discrediting Cassie and by proving that, that, and by influencing the public opinion.
It's a good strategy. I mean, they got to come up with something. But
He learned it from Johnny Cochran. That's what Johnny Cochran do
Oh,
all the time. Like if you look at the O.J. Simpson case, like Johnny Cochran was a mastermind of using the public perspective to win, because who would have thought with all the proof against O.J. Simpson that O.J. would go free? But he
right.
did, simply by using the public opinion of racism.
Yeah, he did. He did. They threw out a lot of evidence because of, tampering with evidence and yep.
Yeah, so if he can discredit Cassie, that for him is the strongest proof, because there is the video from the hotel.
That's
If
true.
he can see, yeah, if he can prove that it was a lifestyle, or that when that happened, that he was mad at Cassie, it wasn't because there was a party going on, but because, let's say, Cassie would have stolen money from him, then at that point, that would make it seem like, oh, Cassie is maybe not an angel in the situation. And in fact, if she had stolen money from him, then at that point he would have right to chase after her to find to take back his property.
Mm-hmm. So he's trying to justify what he did and trying to downplay it as well. And say,
Exactly.
oh no, it wasn't really like that. AI kind of twisted some stuff in there.
It's wild.
He's desperate.
Oh, beyond.
But you said earlier, Maggie, that he's thinks he doesn't really know how much trouble he's in. He really thinks that he's gonna get off.
Yeah. And that's why in the media, because he's probably the one that keeps on pushing for any like doubt to be put in. Like when there was that whole story about the sweeping of his cell, that it was illegal to go into his cell. Like, why was that put everywhere in the media? Clearly it was pushed by someone that is Diddy, because that the only person that it benefit is Diddy. Because being like the police, the guard going into your cell is not illegal. Sweeping a cell is not illegal, but he is.
I was gonna say, did you know that you remember the birthday party that they had for him, his family, on the internet or whatever?
Yeah.
The judge said that he was not impressed with that as well, because he felt like they were trying to influence the jurors.
Correct. Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's been like discovered that Diddy keeps on having contact with the like exterior world by using either other cellmates phone time, by trying to do three-way call, etc., to continue to influence like the public.
Wow.
Because at the end of the day, it's a trial by jury. If the jury can be influenced, then he can win, exactly like O.J. Simpson.
Wow, he could get. That's what Paula was saying. He could get off. He could.
I don't think so. I don't think so
No,
because
I
I
think,
think
I
that
think no, I
Mhm.
think they've got a plan. I think there's something going on. I think there's I think we're going to see everything happen at once, right? I think we're going to see if you're going down in this case, it's all going to happen at once. It's going to be swift, and we're all going to wake up. And do you know what? I bet it's Christmas Day, right? I bet it's Christmas Day or Boxing Day or something like that, where there's a big sweep and we all wake up and it's like so and so arrested, allegation. Like I can just see something like that happening. Because what better time? But would they not have done that at Thanksgiving as well? Who knows? I'm just saying. I'm expecting if it's going to happen, it's all going to happen at once. And I think the next big release of, oh, this is what we got on you, is going to be massive. Or crickets until the case. It's going to be one of the two.
I think the prosecution is clearly going to go cricket. The only one who's making any noise is Diddy, and other people talking, let's say, on a like platform. That is, we are the one that are making kind of the noise about it, but the prosecution is extremely quiet. They don't want anyone to be like even talking about it at all, because anytime someone goes in front of a grand jury, now we don't hear about them anymore. We don't hear about Courtney Burgess anymore. We don't hear about Ariel anymore. Like since the grand jury went, he had to go testify, suddenly everyone is silent, because that's what is put in place by the prosecution, because this is how they're going to win the case, so that we know the least possible.
So the 120 people that are suing Diddy, that's civil, right? It's not criminal.
It's civil,
so, yeah.
But I do believe that, because even now we're not hearing about Busby. The last thing we heard about Busby was that he was accused of something, and that he was saying, oh, I'm going to prove that it's not true, and I'm going to share who is accusing me of extortion. But now we don't hear anything, because right now, if they go in front of a grand jury, if they have to testify, then they become silence. I think there is a reason why before we kept on hearing about Ariel, about Busby, and now it's cricket. It's because everything is starting to be in motion.
Right, they have to be quiet.
Proper quiet.
They could compromise the case.
Well, not even
That's what I
that.
believe.
The people involved with the case could end up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right,
Exactly.
that's true.
Exactly. So I do believe that there is a reason why we went from hearing from those people almost every day to not hearing from them at all.
Right, just shut down.
Yeah. Well,
so I think the only one who thinks that blaming Cassie and trying to influence the public is Diddy, because Diddy is desperate.
Okay. Well, look, just before we get into our last section, there's one more really boring thing I need to try and test with everybody. We finally got rid of the echo today, so I'm amazed with that. The last thing I want to try and do and make sure there's no echo or interference is I'm going to play a song from the back end of StreamYard, right? So I want you to tell me if you can hear the music, if the music is clear, anything like that. It might come on a little bit loud, but I'll adjust the volume. But I want to hear if it sounds okay. So it's at 20% volume now. So I just want to know if it's coming through, if everyone can hear it, if it sounds horrible, if it's got an echo or anything like that. Let me know, and I can go through my little list of things that I need to check to make sure things are not going to be horrible to listen. Sounds great. Okay, perfect. Sounds good. Okay, good. Because we figured out that the reason that we had the issues with the echo was because I was running things through too many different channels on the mixer. And what was happening was the mixer was picking up this mic, and then it was picking up the sound from Google, running it through a separate channel. Then it was coming back to StreamYard and being forced into one channel. So you were getting two bits of sound, basically. But now we fixed it. Right? I like it. So it's just for when there's not panel members on and I'm talking. having background music stops my brain from forgetting a lot. It's weird. It gives my subconscious something to focus on so that it can shut up and it doesn't distract me every 5 minutes from stuff. Because yes, it's nothing quite like the voices in your head doing your nutting. But look, I think we're touching on 3 hours. And hang on a second, let me just check on the side chat here. But ladies, what have you got coming up next? What is on the agenda for you guys? What have we got to look forward to from yourselves?
Well, I decided I may do a daily live for about an hour.
Nice, love that.
Yeah,
love that.
talking about Meghan and Harry. Look like they were headed for Separatville. And so, what do you got going on, Maggie?
Yeah, Maggie.
Yeah, for me, it's about I'm trying to do videos every day, trying to do a live every day, just having fun. And
what about you, Ron? Getting ready for Nova?
Yeah, getting ready for Nova. Just keep giving me feedback on the music volume level, everything. This is the test period. We've got a few people saying that it's quite loud.
Yeah, so it was a little loud.
It was a little loud. That's fine. So it's now down at 9%. So let me know if that's more ambient. 9%, just so that we can. It's just, hey, listen,
that's
this is
better.
why we do these. That's why we do these things. Yeah, absolutely is. Volume is a bit loud. Thank you. A bit loud. That's great. It was a little loud.
Do you have any interesting interview this week? Anything to look forward to?
Oh, good question.
Ooh.
I can't remember. So I don't think so. I think we're getting everything booked in as we're speaking, if that makes sense. So stay tuned.
Which interview did you like the most?
I like the Shug interview. The Shug interview was good. I think there was a lot of reading between the lines there. I've not watched last night's
earlier
interview.
About him. You said something about Shug earlier. You said that he thinks that Diddy is a smaller fish.
No, I never said that. What I said was he doesn't believe that Diddy should be the only one sent to the chopping block, metaphorically speaking. He believes that everyone involved should be done. And I think none of us disagree with that, right? I think we can all agree that that is the way this should work out. But yeah, it's been good. I know the one last night was a banger, but I've not had a chance to watch that.
It was good. I saw some of it. I like the gentleman, and it sounds like him and Sean are good friends.
Yeah, well, yeah. Listen, it's always nice when relationships are good after the show. You know what I'm saying? And Ron, I have an ADHD assessment on Wednesday. I'm so nervous. You got this. Aww. You got this, mate. You got this. Do not worry. Okay, do not worry. Okay?
The fact that you're worrying just shows how much you have ADHD.
It's the neurotypicals. The neurotypicals are the ones that fear us. Okay, don't fear the diversity. Okay, we are the evolution. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my God,
we are. I'm just saying. Okay, when you harness the power of your superpowers. I'm just saying. Paula's. I don't know where Paula is. She'll be back this week. Don't worry.
And just to say, Paula is gonna have a live with Mike at 1 p.m.
Oh, sweet. There we go.
Mike who?
Mike, 1 p.m. And Mike from Music something
Radio recording.
Mike Cross.
Mike, yeah.
Recording Network.
Yeah. Recording Music Recording Network. That's the one. So yeah, we'll make sure you tune in for that. We're back in 2 hours with Beverly Rhodes. Awaken with Beverly Rhodes. It's going to be a wild one. Get tuned in because I'm pretty sure it's Kaza's off-world DNA results. We're diving into a whole bunch. We're going to talk a little bit more about the shows we've got coming Wednesday and Sunday this week. Oh, wow. We've got a new show coming with John Wedger that's starting this week. I have a new show starting with Samson that is starting this week. It's an entertainment and comedy based. There's a lot of stuff that's happening. The panel's going to be rotating in and out on the Daily Show to keep it a little bit more compact, and everything's good. Everyone's gravy. Thank you, ladies, for being here. Thank you, Side Chat, for being awesome. Thank you, YouTube, for existing. And we'll see you all in a couple of hours. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being so awesome. Thank you all for turning up, and thank you all for being so supportive on my first day back. And I love you guys. So stay tuned for. Sadly, you're about to be hit with the intro as the outro. But get to love the new song of Project Rook, and we'll see you in the next one. For me, Ron Swanson, as always, be safe out there, guys.